What's up, pretty gang? It's your favorite nail tech Peaches, back with another video. Today I'm gonna show you guys something special. Okay, this particular client got her toes in at the nail shop. All right, now I did her toes like a week previously to when she came in for this appointment, and I had to give her a toenail on the big toe, on the other foot though, right? So this is what happened when I looked under this toenail we're working on today, and I was just like, damn, what have they done? So instead of showing you guys the final result now, I'm gonna actually show the final fully done result at the end, but this is just a sneak peek of what I was able to do for her. Okay, this client actually found me on YouTube, and you know what, you can book me too if you're in my area. All right, so before we get into it, don't forget to check the descriptions. My coupon codes, my Amazon storefront is down in there. My Amazon storefront is also my Instagram. Follow me on Instagram for all booking information. I'm in Sacramento, California. Of course, subscribe, notifications on to the channel, and let's begin. So let me re-explain this situation, break it down better. This client went to the nail shop, okay? She was unaware that there's acrylic on this toe, which happens more often than you think. People kind of zone out when they get pedicures. They don't realize that, hey, someone just laid some acrylic, and they're kind of like, oh, whatever. The week prior, she actually came because she had basically a sliver of a toenail, because she was trying to tell the nail tech at the shop to please remove this acrylic. I don't want it. They were going back and forth. The person would not remove it. So when she got home, she kind of hacked and chopped and clipped until the acrylic was gone. And unfortunately, she took her nail with it. All right. So as I'm filing this one, right, because we booked her for about a week out so she can come back and get another big toe on the opposite foot to match what I've just done. Okay, as I'm filing, I notice, there's a little bit dark under there. So what's going on? Because last week I told her, I'm like, I'm pretty sure you got acrylic on that foot. Just from the look, I can guarantee it is, right? We did the soak off on this toenail. This foot was underneath. So this is where it gets tricky, because you can see I'm wondering, okay, what's going on here? We're asking questions. I do have a little bit of her background because, again, she did come the week prior. At this point, I'm not convinced that it's fungal. Otherwise, I would not have been doing none of that touching and stuff that you see. But I am a little confused trying to figure out, like, hey, did you know you have this lifting? Like this coloration is specifically because this toenail is lifted off. And if you notice, before I even lift this part up, that corner missing is most likely why the nail shop put that acrylic on there and just didn't say nothing about it. So she was like, no, I didn't realize I had lifting, blah, blah, blah. You already know how the shops are. They're not going to tell you what's really going on. Okay. So I decided, all right, we need to remove this piece no matter what. And I'm like, I'll probably just end up going ahead and clipping off the majority of the nail. Since it's lifted, we'll build it back up. Because again, she is booked for a big toe reconstruction appointment. All right. So I'm thinking like, okay, yeah, we're just going to clip it, whatever. But then I kind of got lazy. Like, I just did not feel like getting the clippers, like washing my hands, go get the clippers. So I just went ahead and filed this piece off. Now, please be careful if you're going to do this. It's not like dangerous to do unless you don't know what you're doing. All right. So whatever was wanting to be filed off, I just allowed it to file off. Do y'all see all this dust in the camera? Just to put this in perspective, I don't work on fungus, because all of this dust that you're filing on, everywhere it lands, that's where the fungus can spread to, and someone can pick up an infection from that. So when you're in the nail shops and you're wondering, how did I get this fungus? Look at how the people are filing. If they don't change the sanding bands and the last person they just worked on had a fungal infection or anything, you are spreading bacterial spores all over the place. All right. You see all that dust? All of that dust carries infection. And so when you see all these nail techs, trendy people working on some really questionable things, and all that dust is flying, and they're saying, oh, wow, I throw everything away. Come on, the amount of dust that flies around and touches on everything, and, you know, on the rug and all these different things that, you know, just to put it in perspective, be careful where you go. All right. So that's that. So at this point, I decide there's no need to cut more than this, because the toenail itself is pretty sturdy. Like, yes, it does have lifting, but it's not anything that I'm concerned about. Like, she's not going to lose anything over, because we're also going to do a natural length, because I need to match the other toenail to the best of my ability. So I'm going to go ahead and prep her. You can see the area near the cuticle is still healthy looking, and by that standard, I'm like, okay, that's good. So however it's been growing in is cool. The damage is done from the free edge down, which lets me know you probably stubbed your toe, you may have dropped something. some sort of something have occurred. Whether or not you felt it, you know, if your shoes were stubbing in your toes for if your toes were like getting stubbed in the tip of your shoe for too long, that can cause lifting. Just literally all sorts of things. All right. So now let's go ahead and put some acrylic on. Now I know the discoloration can look a little bit scary, but you can look at her nail bed and see that is a healthy nail bed. It's just the nail plate. Once it lifts like that, a lot of times it does have a white to yellowish tint. Sometimes it gets dark, and that's just how it is. Okay, so I'm gonna lay a nice size bead smack in the middle of the nail, because this is a reconstruction. Now, albeit it might seem easy, it does take skill to be able to do this type of reconstruction where you're doing only one part of the nail, but you want it to look completely seamless. So that one bead of acrylic, I'm gonna shift most of the acrylic to one side because that's what we're building out. And I'm gonna take that acrylic and we're gonna pat an even layer. On the left side where my thumb is, it's gonna be way thinner because we don't really need it there too much. And on the right side where my brush is, you can see how the acrylic is gonna go ahead and fill that in. Now, this is not the best angle that I'm working at, but you guys, my days lately have been very full, very eventful, and so fortunately this is the footage that we got, so this is what we're going to work with. I did not file or anything on camera because that's just not what I had time for, wherever my phone was laying, you know, what have you. I apologize, but once you lay the acrylic and you go back and file, you should be good because it's generally in the same shape. Now, what you want to be careful for is making sure, see how I'm poking up that underneath, because you don't want it to be too glued down to the skin, just because we still have the other side, which is the natural nail. You want it to still look evenly when you look down at it from the angle I'm looking at. All right, so I hope this video showed you guys that you know, there is a reason why we should be able to do remove. Oh Lord, my computer's gonna die. I was about to go on this whole beautiful rant about, you know, being able to help others, and doing foreign soak-offs is very much a help to people who need it. I hope you guys, okay, hold on, let me get it together, y'all. This is just taking time away, but okay, whatever, great. Anyways, I hope you guys learned nothing else except for the fact that, you know, although we see some crazy stuff, some things are just not as bad as what we think. And sometimes the things that we think are like, wow, that's such a crazy transformation, it's not as crazy as what you think, you know? Unfortunately, the nail shop she went to did her janky, so I tried and hooked her up. We're coming upon the final results here in a minute, so you guys, what the hell? You guys, this is very hectic. I apologize. Today has been hectic. Well, I don't know what I was saying. Anyways, damn, I wish I knew, you guys. I'm blanked. I'm done. That's it. That's all I got for this video. Anyways, I hope that you did enjoy this video. I know it was short. I know it was like not very explanatory or eventful, but I hope like going through my thinking process helped you guys at all. This is the final result. You can see the right side, that right foot is what I previously did, and this one is what's here now. And of course, I'll see you guys in the next video.